Good morning, everyone. Vincent Devall. We're here on the Eagles Nest podcast. Today, we're breaking down everything you need to know about interviewing a real estate agent and preparing your house to sell on today's market. And today, I am here with my co-host, Mr.
Brad Brewer, as always. We were gonna mix it up this morning and find someone else to sit in for me, but no one really wanted to.
Yeah, thank God. So I'm kind of excited about this. I think as the market starts to heat up, selling your home is a huge decision, and choosing the right real estate agent can make or break the process, right? So today we're going to break down 15 essential questions I think are you should ask an agent before hiring them to list your property. So let's dive in.
I've definitely had some interesting conversations with people on this topic for the last several weeks, but yeah. So 15 things to ask your agent. So one, dive right in. How long have you been in real estate? How many homes have you sold? These are common questions that we do get. And then definitely experience matters. You just don't want someone who might be fresh out of the box or hasn't been in business for very long. You want someone who's got a proven track record that's successfully selling homes. Ask about their total volume in sales and the types of properties also that they specialize in, because that's very important. Now, I'm going to give one caveat here to defend some of the newer agents. If they've got a solid track record with their brokerage as far as training or a part of a team, they've got a lot of support there. So I'm going to give a little love out to our newer agents for that reason.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think, the track record definitely helps and success in selling homes. And we're going to dive into some statistics later on in this podcast. But, also it's got to be someone you're comfortable with, right? Like, and trust. We're going to say that a lot today. Know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
If you just don't get that warm, fuzzy feeling when you first open up the conversation,
Yeah, absolutely.
why waste your time?
Yeah, and I like the types of properties note because, I don't know, this is my personal opinion. I know there's agents out there that really do everything. They do farms, they do vacant land, they do commercial, they do residential. I definitely call myself a residential specialist. I even would say I'm pretty knowledgeable on the investment side, buy and hold, buy, fix, and flip. That's my bread and butter. Do I do a little bit of commercial? Yes. But I'm very understanding what my limitations are there. And I know I'm bringing help from other agents, because we do have on our team a commercial agent. I've got other commercial agents that I work with. So I'm not going to tell you that I don't specialize in something that when I don't. So
and mine's probably a little bit of a agricultural farmland, right?
Correct.
So if you came out and said, "Hey, Vince, I want you to sell my 5,000 acre farm," I'd be like, "Ooh, okay, let's go to the people that know this better than us."
Yes, yeah, and that makes total sense too. And I'd say it was 5 years ago. I really wouldn't touch farmland. I've learned more in the last 5 years. And what I did was, just like I mentioned with the team, is I partnered with other agents that had knowledge on farms, farmland.
Yep.
So I learned what information to uncover, how to market them, and things like that.
Yeah.
Great segue, by the way.
And how to market it, right? So marketing your home, that strategy is huge. And I think that is one of the top questions you should be asking an agent is, how are they going to market it to get, in real estate, that's everything, right?
Absolutely.
A strong agent should have a clear strategy of what they're doing, including professional photography, video tours, social media marketing, and MLS exposure. Like, if they don't have a concrete plan for you, that's a red flag. They should be laying it out, and not only laying it out, but also giving you examples.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's the professional photography thing. From day one, I know when an agent's getting especially this is one of the things with newer agents. Just ask them. You can tell how well prepared a newer agent is based on how they are.
Sorry.
You can really figure out a new agent how prepared they are when you start asking questions about the marketing, and if they've got that support behind them. Even as a new agent, you got all these expenses. You're starting a business, but The one thing I never shortcutted was professional photography. I am not a photographer. There are agents out there that's a big hobby of theirs.
Yeah.
I guess ask that question, if you're gonna do your own photography, the camera's one thing, you can have a really good camera, but if you don't know angles and how to do things, you're just not gonna get those top photography.
Right. And
photos.
I'll talk about photography a little bit. Like you can tell when someone uses a professional photographer, because even if you're a buyer and you're walking through homes,
Yeah.
you can be like, oh man, the photos made this house look really good. Well, that's the idea. We hire a professional photographer to get you in the door. And the next thing, social media marketing, touch on that a little bit. If they're going to do it, ask how they do it, who they target, how they target, and, how many views, how many clicks. They should be able to have that data. If someone goes,
Absolutely.
hey, if I'm going to advertise on Facebook for 7 days, well, what's that mean to me? Well, that means that 20,000 people are going to see your home.
Absolutely.
That means that we average out of 20,000 people, 2,000 clicks. People are going to click on that link. So, if they don't have that concrete plan, huge red flag. Make sure it's laid out for you.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Definitely. So number 3, how will you determine the listing price? Listing is the price is huge. We have an old saying in real estate, it's location, condition, price.
Yep.
Having those pricing conversations, how your agent talks about it, it's one of the keys to selling your home quickly for the top dollar. A good agent will definitely have market analysis done. They're gonna understand how also to explain it.
Yeah.
And the pricing strategy. We've talked about this on other podcasts of ours that we've done. I go with a 3 pricing strategy. You go with a 3 or 4 pricing strategy. The 4th, by the way, is kind of like that cash. That cash.
Cash quick close.
But you're going to take a discount. You're giving your home away at a discount at that time.
You are. You need to get out. You need to get out quickly.
Yeah. The other 3 are maybe slightly overpricing it, hoping you can get that, but being willing to come down. That spot on number that you really think it should sell for. And then hey, we're going to take it a little under market just to maybe drive some of those additional offers, get that multiple offer situation, driving that price back up. So those are the big things with the listing price strategy.
Yeah. And, I think people have to understand the market is dictated not by us as agents on what homes sell for, but what buyers are willing to pay for your home. So, we're looking at the trends out there when we give you that price. We're not pulling a number out of our ass. We're not pulling it out of thin air. We are saying, hey, here's comparable homes in your area, similar size, make, model, whatever. And that is how we're pricing your home. So make sure you understand pricing and they're giving you the comparables to do that. Next that, go into, this is a tricky one. Does your agent specialize in that neighborhood, in that city, in that community, whatever it might be? Because expertise can be crucial. It can help drive that conversation on, buyer demographics, local amenities, market trends. If Kenosha and Mount Pleasant right now, Microsoft's going up there. It's how well do they know the area and how well is it going to attract buyers to your home? So if they can't speak confidently about your neighborhood, maybe they're not the right fit.
Absolutely. So let me ask you a question, Vince. I've got a home up in Washington County, West Bend. You sell it for me?
Would I sell? Depending on the house.
Yeah. And
depending on how where it's located and how well I know the area.
Okay.
Depending, I may refer it out to somebody that is knows the area, because that's a drive, right?
Yeah.
Like time is money, and I may miss out on a client for you if someone calls me and goes, hey, I want to see your house at 4 p.m. today, and I have other things going on. So
so as an agent, I think it's just super important that you define your area. And it's different. I asked the Washington County, I asked the listing on purpose because it's a little farther out. Like if someone said to me, what are your normal areas? I would say Southern Milwaukee, Southern Waukesha, we're seeing Kenosha, Walworth County, and a little bit of Rock County.
Yeah.
Up to about Janesville.
Yep.
Those are what I would consider my primary and even maybe a little bit my secondary. I did Mission in Washington County. But like you said, I used to work up in West Bend. I do know the area pretty well still. I got friends up there. So the right neighborhood, the right house, I might be the right fit. Otherwise, exactly what you said. When an agent says, if I don't worry, I'm going to get you the right agent because we can refer it out. We can get you an agent that you trust. So even if you don't live in like our market area, work with us because we can get that agent for you.
Yeah, we'll help blend the right fit for you. I
Yeah.
guess a good way to look at it.
You're gonna interview them, you're gonna go through their listing
Yep.
meeting, but we can kind of do a preliminary interview for you, say, hey, this is a good agent, they know the area very well. They've got the expertise that I would like if it was my house, and then we're gonna report it to you.
Yeah.
So, all right, can you provide references from past clients? I think a solid agent should have, a happy client list willing to vouch for them.
Yeah. I agree.
Ask for references. You can check online reviews. I think online reviews are probably the most popular. It's not like a job where, I don't know that you're gonna take the time to call the actual clients. I've even had clients in the past do a video, be part of one of my videos.
I like that.
With like the referral. I think that's a nice touch. There's a number of different ways that an agent can tell you, do they have a nice, happy client history background? And if you do want to call and talk to somebody directly, just ask them for a couple.
Yeah. Next question. This is a big one. It's probably a hot topic in today's industry. What's your commission rate and what does it cover? Most agents are going to charge you, now that this has changed, right? They're going to charge you anywhere from 2 to 4%, depending on what their marketing is, what your home needs, things like that. And then you as the seller are going to dictate what you want to offer the buyer's agent. So it's kind of a twofold. Now, total commission, you're probably looking at, 5 to 6%, give or take. There's some, discount brokers out there, and then there's some that are even more expensive. It just depends on what you're getting for that investment, right? Does it include marketing costs, professional photography, staging, 3D home tours, advertising, things like that? Transparency is key. I know here on a team, a lot of us use a 3-tier model, and it's based on the marketing. And I'm not going to put you in I'm not even going to suggest a top tier model if you're a starter home that I know will sell fairly quickly. If you're a multi-million-dollar home that needs more marketing, more reach, then maybe we need to spend a little bit more money. Absolutely. So transparency is key in this field.
Yeah, I love what you said there. I think the one-size-fits-all commission structure, those days are definitely gone.
Yeah.
I actually like it. To me, it's also another opportunity for us agents to be very transparent, as not all homes are created equal. Great example there. A starter home, a subdivision that's very popular. Am I gonna have to spend, $3,000 in marketing that property? Probably not.
Right.
So then can I save you that money? Yeah, I don't need to charge you 6%. So I love that. It's a great example. Another one, what's your average days on market for listings? This one is huge to me. This tells you, one, that the agent knows how to price homes.
Yep.
It tells you how to market homes. So a good agent has the data to show how long their listings have been on the market. They have the historical data for what it typically takes them. And you definitely, if they're way higher than market norm, that's where you're going to be concerned. And they should know that too. Hey, what's the market norm right now? It's different. It's funny how it can really vary by county. So if I'm talking to someone in Racine County, I definitely want to look at, all right, what is the Racine County average? And you want to be very, very specific to not just their general days. Like if you're selling a condo, what's their condo average? If you're selling a single family, what's the single family average? Because they're definitely not all created equal.
Right. And it's going to vary on price point too, right?
Absolutely.
So if you have a $750,000 house, it is probably going to sit on the market because our buyer pool is smaller. It is going to sit on market longer than our $300,000 house.
Absolutely.
The first-time home buyer. So keep that in mind, when you ask. And then if they say, oh, my average homes is, average days on market is 42, and that's 10 more days than normal. Maybe ask why. Yeah. Maybe the last 5 sale prices have been, $1 million homes. Those are going to sit longer, right? But if their last 4 or 5 sales have been starter homes, then maybe they're overpricing. Yeah. And that should tell you, the importance of pricing.
Yeah.
So,
And we
Yeah.
do like to give our sellers definitely some. You can't just say, all right, we'll list it for whatever you want. There are sellers out there that just, they want to get more than that you're gonna get. That, giving that seller time to prove them wrong, prove you right. Sometimes properties can sit a little longer than you as the agent know that they should, and there's reason there. Again, it's one of those things like a knowledgeable agent, an agent that knows the importance of days on market can be able to explain all that to you and
Yeah.
show their data.
yeah. Next, how do you handle negotiations? Great question. When you ask an agent, how do you handle negotiations? So, negotiate skills could make or break a sale. You need an agent that is confident, experienced, and able to get you the best price and terms for your home. And one of the, I think the hardest things with negotiations for even agents sometimes
Mhm.
and homeowners is taking the emotion out of the sale. I think if you can remove the emotion, it's going to make that negotiation not just for you as a home seller, but a homeowner and the agent a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that other agent on the other side is trying to hardball you. Calm and collective works really well a lot of times.
Absolutely, and I like your comment about the emotion. Let the data control your decisions, not the emotion.
Right.
It's very tough. That's one of our jobs, is to help you balance that emotion versus what the data shows that we can do. It's definitely super important to be able to understand all that. Number 9.
It's a great question.
I like this. Will you handle the sale personally, or will I be working with your team? Some agents pass clients off onto junior team members after signing the listing. Make sure you know who will be the main point of contact throughout the process. I know for us, like for me personally, yes, we actually have a few assistants now. We do have some younger agents that we may bring in and do co-listings with, but I'm going to tell you who's going to be responsible for what. And at the end of the day, if it's my name on the listing, if you need to reach me, you're going to reach me.
Right.
And I'm going to be whether it's on the forefront or in the background, I'm going to be the one making sure at the end of the day that this is done to my standards. And every agent should be the same. Whatever your standards are for Vince, he's going to make sure he's there. But that's a great question to ask, because I do know a lot of agents. I get it. They're busy. They do a ton of business, and they passed off. And then you never talk to them again.
Never see him, never hear from him. Yeah.
I just think, like I said, I think it's great. It helps new agents learn, but who's in charge? Yeah, I think it's a big.
I think who's in charge, right? You have to
Yeah.
know, and trust the person, once again, that is helping you sell your home. Now, is there someone on the back end that's helping with the communication, making sure dates and deadlines are hit? That's one thing, but who is your go-to if you have a question or a problem? Are you going to your listing agent, or are you going to the team member? That is a great question. And if there's any hesitation, the answer is you're going to a team member.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
Once you go live and once you're in this process, how will you communicate with me and how often is a great question.
Great question.
Lack of communication is one of the biggest complaints sellers have about their agents. You need someone who's going to keep up with updated regularly, whether through calls, texts, emails, or video messaging. We do video messaging a lot, at least I do. And how often? Is it every Monday because we had 12 showings on the weekend? I'm going to get an update and what that update looks like. Okay. Hey, Brad, we had 12 showings. 4 of them said, hell no, your house was, not what they're looking for. 4 loved it, but thought it was overpriced. And 4 considered a second showing. Great feedback, right? And then let them know what next steps are. Like, are you following up with the ones that are considering a second showing? And then also, what's the market doing? If your house sits on the market, what's the market doing? Hey, Brad, there's another house that just listed down the street, a little bit bigger than yours, more upgrades, priced a little less. That's going to be competition for us. So, keeping, not just updates on what's happening with your home specifically, but what's happening in the market today is huge.
Yeah, and as an agent, I definitely don't want to assume, that's gotten us agents in trouble before. Just because what my standard practice would be, which would be typically on listings. Um, I would just let them know, hey, normally I will update you once a week. Given all that data that Vince just mentioned, maybe suggestions on pricing, also kind of communicating beforehand. Not all the marketing happens at once.
Right.
So a lot of the print marketing may take a week or two to hit the mailboxes that are going to, right? So communicating that and then saying, this is how often I will typically check in with you or give you updates. Is that good for you? There's clients like, I have clients, they're like, no, I wanna, like, tell me after every shot. Not a problem, just if we know it.
Yeah.
So if your agent doesn't tell you, this is an awesome question to ask.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what we don't know, like what we may expect is norm, you may have higher expectations, which is fine.
I almost wore a vest today too. It would have been twinsies.
Well, I do have quite the best collection.
Yeah.
So,
So you, yeah.
uh,
Oh, God.
yeah, next topic is, question number 11. What should I do to prepare my home for sale? A good agent should provide you specific recommendations on decluttering, staging, minor repairs, or upgrades that you could possibly just increase your home's value. We could go into a million of those. That's definitely part of the consultation process. I'll tell you one quick tip. Painting goes a long way.
Yeah.
Just fresh paint. Maybe not necessarily throughout the whole house, maybe specific rooms, whatever. That's definitely a conversation we typically ask. And I've always gone with the 3 C's. It helps me remember it: clean, clear, clutterless. You want the house to be immaculately clean. And this is one of the ones that I like to recommend people do is don't be afraid to spend money on cleaners.
Yeah.
Like having that nice, deep clean. Your home can be extremely outdated, but if it's clean, it does pick up that, it's more substantiates your market value. So to me, that's a huge one. Clear, meaning just, you want countertops clear. Like I start in the kitchen. All right. If you use a coffee pot every day, leave it.
Yeah.
If you use the toaster once a week, put it in the
Yep,
cabinet.
exactly.
Bring it out once a week,
Yep.
right? And then the colorless stuff sitting on the floors. You want your flooring and your spaces to seem really open. So a toy chest for kids. I know it's tough if you have little kids, but can it be, we put it in a closet. Is there a closet that fits it? Okay, kids, it's gonna be here now instead of here. Things like that, clean, clear, clutterless are huge.
So once we've clean, cleared, and cluttered, question 12, do you recommend staging and do you provide staging services? Right?
Yes.
So staged homes sell faster and for more money typically. So some agents include staging as part of their services, while others can refer you to a professional.
Yes.
Now, this is all going to be relevant if your home is vacant.
Yes.
You know, if you're selling a vacant home, then yeah, staging I think is a great opportunity to maximize top dollar, because not everybody can vision a bedroom with a king size bed. Not everybody can vision a dining room with a table that seats 8, right? So it's, it's one of those things that could, depending on your price point, really help accentuate you getting top dollar.
And good stagers have the data behind this, but the short answer is staging typically pays for itself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're currently in the home and we talk about staging, a lot of stagers don't even need to bring in new furniture. They can use your own, but they just reorganize it, maybe remove some things, maybe bring a few other things in. But staging is a great conversation and a topic to have, absolutely, for sure. So, question 13, what are the biggest challenges you foresee in selling my home? So I think it's important to be honest. Every home has its obstacles. I walk into every home, could be the most beautiful home in the world or something that really needs a full cut job. Every property, every home has its positive negatives. Again, goes back to the location, condition, and then
Dictates price.
Dictates your price. So a good agent should be very upfront. I can definitely remember when I had a situation. The guy was on a beautiful 5 acres, but the house just needed to be gutted. Roof was starting to leak. It just really needed a full gut. But I told him, I said, your total value is in the land, and your layout of your house is beautiful, but it's got to be gutted. So I just told him that's going to be the difficulty of finding that that buyer that wants to take on a full renovation.
Yeah.
The full value, so.
So question 14, before we wrap up here, what happens if my home doesn't sell within the expected time frame? So you need to have an agent that has a backup plan. Like, how are they going to adjust the marketing? How are we going to talk about lowering the price? Or are we going to make some staging improvements? Ask how they're going to handle the slow moving listings. You know, are they doing open houses to drive more traffic? You know, those are all things that are great questions to ask because, you know, depending on price and condition, your home may not sell as quickly as you were hoping. So make sure your agent has a plan in place to keep your house moving in the right direction.
Oh, absolutely.
And the toughest question we get as agents, number 15, Brad, what is it?
Why should I choose you over other agents? That is the ultimate test. You know, a great agent is able to set themselves apart in some form or fashion. It might be just I've had clients pick me because like, wow, we just gel really well together. You know your stuff. You know, it always comes down to they have to think you're able and capable.
Right.
But then it's the other thing, what sets you apart? For some agents, it's their marketing ability. Some agents, it's their negotiation skills. Some it's just their overall experience and they're knowledgeable, across the board. I try to be a big client service person, but I can only communicate the best with other people I'm communicating with. So there's all kinds of challenges, but what does that agent done to separate themselves?
Yeah. What sets you apart? What makes you the person they are going to know, like, and trust to help them sell their house?
Absolutely.
And that it's huge. It's a very tough question, but a good agent is going to be able to articulate it, without hesitation, without, reluctancy. They're going to be able to tell you why they're going to get your home sold and be the best person to work with on this deal. So choosing the right agent can be the difference between a smooth and a profitable home sale and a stressful experience. Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid to ask those tough questions.
Absolutely. I mean,
you're hiring someone that's handling one of the biggest financial assets of your life.
Yeah. And if you guys didn't take notes on this today, I mean, don't be afraid. Actually, I think it's awesome when an agent comes in and be like, here's some questions you should be asking me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's confidence, that's preparation. I think that is huge. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like when you go and buy a home, you want to be looking at that. How's this home feel to you? Like, can you envision yourself here? Well, can you envision us working together?
That's a great way to look at it. So yeah, that's a great way to look at it. So that's it for today's episode on 15 questions to ask an agent. If you found this helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page for more real estate tips. And we'll catch you next time on the Eagles Nest podcast. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.